My name is Deniese Woolfolk, and I love working out at the gym, which is one of my favorite pastimes. But ultimately, I'm about wellness, health. I love to massage, and I love to help people along their spiritual journey be able to find peace and joy in their life.
Let's go. Yes. On a war campaign, all I'm hearing on the brain, no pain, no gain.
I hope you got that.
I've been a massage therapist since 2003. It's not really a job, it's a labor of love. I tell people all the time, if I could give it away free, if I didn't have no bills, I would give it away free because I know the power of healing that massage has, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. I consider my greatest accomplishment is overcoming a disability that I had after I had brain surgery. After I had the surgery, I had short-term memory loss, and my doctors had me on all kinds of crazy medications that just dulled me down to where I didn't even feel like myself any longer. After a while, I was like looking into different forms of medication supplements so I wouldn't be so lethargic throughout the day. So I checked with my doc, make sure it was okay. And she was like, sure, go ahead and give it a try. And then when I did, I noticed how much better I felt. So I started using supplementation to take the place of prescription medications that I was taking. And then that led me into, diet, trying to see how I can keep my diet, make my diet more cleaner so that I can actually feel healthier and not so heavy in my body.
So you grab up there.
Fitness has changed my life by helping me really mentally and spiritually and physically. So all three of those things, they really mean a lot to me in my life, were covered when I worked out, because when I was feeling sadness, especially when I went through a phase of depression after the surgery because I couldn't do the things that I used to do, I noticed that if I went to the gym, I started to feel a little better, even if I went in feeling crappy. So that's why it became really important for me to have a trainer that could work with me and work with the different moods that I would come in with and be able to help me so that when I left out, I would feel so much better, not only mentally, but physically in my body as well. I think back on the times when I wasn't working out, when I was sitting at home in my depression. When I think back to those times when I felt so heavy mentally, physically, and spiritually, I would think about when I did go to the gym and those moments when I didn't feel like getting out of the bed. The worst days for me is rain. I do not like driving in the rain. I do not like driving in the snow. I do not like getting up early in the morning. But I noticed when I did just drudge myself out, go in, trainer could see, okay, it's one of those mornings. But was able to get me going. My blood started pumping. I started feeling stronger, noticing limitations that I thought I had in my body were being overcome just by having someone guide me and lead me.
That was
Sheesh.
No, you're good. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're not.
I was like, okay. And then when I leave out the gym, yeah, I'm sweaty, yeah, I'm tired. But when I get home, I feel so much better in my body, in my spirit, and mentally, that cycle of thinking of negative thoughts, just round and round, just completely stopped. So on those mornings when I feel like laying in the bed, when I feel like just kicking back, I think back on how much better I feel when I go into the gym and come out with this sense of joy and this sense of lightness in my body. So I come out, and after I've done all that work, I'm not trying to eat no burger. I'm not trying to eat no French fries. I'm like, I've done this work. I want to still feel light. And then I notice I can get up in the morning easier. I go to bed a lot easier. I sleep a lot better. I'm physically able to run around with my grandkids and not be like, ugh. So all those things is what kind of helped me get up in those mornings when I don't feel like getting up and going.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
A little bit farther. Now just drop that back knee almost to the ground and see if you're in the right position. Sorry. I keep on holding on.
I'll get in the floor with my grandson's toys and he'll have a little truck and he's running around and I'm like making the sounds, you know, I'm running around and spinning around with them, and you know, I feel rejuvenated and, you know, and I don't feel tired, and their parents are like, dang, mommy, what da da da. So I do feel like it keeps me young, and I feel like it keeps me mobile and it keeps my flexibility really good too, especially when they jumping on you and all those things. I love to dance. I love to dance so much that it's hard for me to hear any kind of tune and sit still. Something starts moving inevitably. And the crazy thing about it is my youngest granddaughter, she's 1 year old. Honey, she will bop her head, she get that shoulder going and his hand going, and any kind of music tone she hears, she moves. I was like, okay, so it kind of runs in the family.
Come on. You got it. I know it's cramping up. 2, last one. Nice job.
I started teaching a form of movement called chakra dancing, where you actually dance to music that has tones and vibrations that resonate with each individual chakra. You do it blindfolded. I make sure you don't run into each other or anything else. And then at the end, after you go through this guided visualization, at the end you do artwork. There's mandala work where you put into art what came up for you in the dance, and it becomes a talisman for you throughout your week, so that you can realize or remember what you worked through on the dance floor, because it helps you to get to that subconscious level, get in there deep and pull all of that up and out. I'm really conscious and aware of myself and my body in space and time, my awareness and my surroundings, which actually helps me to trust my intuition and be able to choose the right choices in life, so I'm not led down a path where I'm totally unaware of my body, my mind, and my spirit. So that's why it's really important for me to make sure that every day I do something that keeps those things in alignment. I start my morning by getting up and meditating. I get up and I give honor to my ancestors. I give honor to my past, where I've come from, because I know if it wasn't for them, I would not be here in this moment, in this time, being able to be the example to others that I am.
So stiff like a deadlift.
Okay.
With kettlebells. So keep your legs fairly straight. Now, if you feel in your low back and you're going a little bit too low, make sure you keep your shoulder blades pulled together. And the goal is to feel it right here.
Okay. So this is every day I get up and I do that. Even if I'm rushing out of the house, when I get to my destination, I do some form of gratitude. When I'm driving, I give some form of gratitude, whether it's for the sun shining, the rain coming down. You know, it's just like a mindfulness practice that I practice every day throughout the day. It became just a way of life for me.
So what we're gonna do is keep these kettlebells really close to your body.
Okay.
So along your legs, not out in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah, and then don't let your knees fall in.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure your knees stay apart so you flex your glutes. There you go. Yep. So as if I had a block here.
It took time, yeah. It took dedication, yeah. And it took courage. I definitely feel like Sunny is in line with me in those ways, because she definitely is about the whole mind, body, spirit connection. And she does so in the most gentle, sneaky ways. She really taps into where you are as a person, and she's able to meet you there and provide not only exercises to meet you where your body is, she provides support mentally to be able to tune in and see, you know, something's going on for you in the day. And if it's something totally off of Sunny's plan for working out, then Sunny will have you in the floor on the ground doing yoga to open that body up, move the body, and she stretches. So I really love the way that Sunny works with me in my training. Well, the future holds for me is being able to combine movement with art therapy. That is really, really what my focus is now. True, I'm still doing massage therapy, but I'm noticing clients that are coming through now really stressed, not really being able to tap into who they are, not really knowing which way to turn. Things are kind of crazy. And so being able to sit down and do art, and it doesn't have to be art where you have this, artistic ability to create some fabulous piece. No, it's about what's coming up for you in the body. So being able to move as you're doing art actually brings that up and out so that you create this beautiful piece of art that you didn't think you could create. And at the same time, you're moving your body and you're getting this healing on a very spiritual, deep level as well. So that's what I'm working on now as far as the future, and it's coming together pretty quickly here. All right.
Even on the arm. Up.
My
Get a girl.
waist.
Get a girl.
So I became an initiate to the Yoruba priestess program because I wanted to create a different relationship with myself. Okay, so once I got into the priestess program, that's where I learned the majority of all my morning practices that I do. So I get up in the morning and I pour libations, which is a meditative practice where we pour blessed water into a chalice as we call out the names of our ancestors. So I pour my libations to my mother and father first and foremost. Then the ancestors whose names I remember. Then the ancestors whose names I do not remember. Then my African, Caucasian, African American, and American Indian ancestors whose names I do not remember. So these practices I learned during my priesthood because as we were going through initiation, we were really getting deep into finding out, who are you? Who really are you? Aside from all the beliefs that other people put on you, besides of all the things that people say you should be doing, you should not be doing, who are you underneath? So we really got deep through meditation, different spiritual practices, different herbal medicines that we would use. And this was a 9-month course that I went through with several other priestesses that were going through with me. Other priestesses that had already crossed over, they were the ones in support for us as we were going through these different initiations that we had to go through. So I went through the Yoruba priestesshood because I wanted to find out more about my history. I had my blood, evaluated and found out that I'm over 49% Nigerian, which I didn't even know. I'm like, the other 45% is like other aspects of Africa, and then I have 1% that is Amazonian. Okay, so that explains the herbal part of that was just naturally that I wanted to do. So I practice a lot of herbal medicine with Ayurvedic therapy. So when I went through the priestesshood, it just kind of cracked me open to all these different aspects of myself that I had no awareness around.
A little bit. Now chin, tuck your chin in, and pull your shoulder blades together. All right, there you go. You're good to go. This is heavy now, but here's the thing. Put your butt down. So what you're doing is you're really thinking over like this. I want you to think it in this position so you're upright, but your head's in line so you're not like butt up on the floor. Now sit. There you go.
A priestess is a woman who knows who she is, has gone through this whole initiation, and has agreed to be a role model for others by practicing what spiritual practices that keep you in tune with the cycles of the earth, the seasons, to make sure that you are the most optimal in health-wise. You are mindful of your thinking and the things that you say and how you say them. You're conscious of the whole, humanity as a whole. So you make decisions based on the whole, not so much on what you want to do or what an individual person wants to do. Yeah, I think so. So when a person comes to me for counseling, I make sure that we discuss these things and make sure that the decisions that they're making is not something that's coming from a place of ego. It's coming from something that's going to help them along their path. So I help people become aware of their spiritual awareness based on what I learned through going through the priestesshood. So I teach others what I've already learned, yet I hold myself to a specific standard in order to be able to place myself in these communications with other people, knowing that I'm open and aligned with the divine and not coming from a place of the ego. I would say start out with walking. And not just walking down the street just fa la la. No, walking with intention. And what that means is, when you're walking, you're actually feeling your feet on the ground, each step. And then each step becomes a sacred walk. As you're walking, be aware of your surroundings in a way that you never have before. Because a lot of times we're in cars and we're driving and we don't even know that there's a squirrel that's climbing up that tree. We don't not even aware that the moon is out in the daytime. So just walking.
13. 14. And 15. Yeah. Get it, girl.
And then once you start getting your blood pumping, you start feeling, that your body is warming up, you're not as stiff, and you're like, well, let me try that again tomorrow. So get out and start walking. I wouldn't start doing something super strenuous, super physical, because odds are you probably won't keep doing it because you'll get into soreness and then you'll say, I don't want to go back, I hurt. But just do something easy. And then once you make that a practice, then you can look into perhaps doing some more vigorous movements such as yoga. And yoga can be very restorative, which is what I prefer. And then you can have yogas that have you twisting like a pretzel. But the key is for you to find out which exercise or which mode of movement is going to work best for you to be consistent. So that would be my suggestion. Get up and move your body in the most silliest ways that you can find. And don't matter who's around, because they're gonna be just as silly as you are, and just see what your body does. You'd be surprised at how it moves, because that's the reason why I really love ecstatic dance, because you could just get in there and just go crazy. Just get up and move your body. It may be silly, but guess what? If it's silly, you're gonna start laughing. And right there's a different kind of movement that comes from here. So just get up and start moving your body any kind of silly way you want to. I have a hula hoop that's in my living room, and I'll put YouTube on and I'll throw that hula hoop on and I'll just hula hoop around my living room to songs. You get so much exercise just from hula hooping. I break out in a sweat hula hooping. This workout was fantastic. I feel rejuvenated. When I came in, I was run down, and now I feel like I can go climb a mountain. Well, honey, first thing we gonna do is change all of that. I don't know none of that. I don't know none of that. What'd you say? Huh?
Girl, 41 years. I failed gym class.
Girl, bye. I hated gym. Girl, look at you moving.